Hello, this is the TradeSite U.S. Stocks and Futures Market Preview for Wednesday, the 4th of March, 2020. It's been kind of a weird week, whereas last week was good. Monday, we got the expected, well, at somewhere along the line, you expect a bounce. We got the expected bounce. Tuesday, things were looking, and then we got the half basis point cut on rates. Spiked the market, but that was it. The world doesn't like that the Fed feels like they have to cut rates to solve this problem, and so we sold off. So let's go through the main. This is the ES front month futures contract. This is the daily chart of the broad market futures form. This includes the current futures action today, which is the white candle. Let's just go through the major daily charts. Then we'll look at the intraday action or the interweek action. Go from there. Crude oil up 70 cents to 47.88. Gold loses $1.30. Actually, it was up for the session, the actual session. S&P cash index loses $86.86. So back down. This is the hard part, right? The easy part was last week. We made a lot of money on the downside. The hard part is this bouncy jumpiness, and we got to get that fixed up. Nasdaq 100 down 283.49. That's basically the candle part. And it's an ugly candle, like from that perspective, obviously. So it is what it is, just reinforcing the fact that this is not the best time for a trading perspective. Stocks down 60.12. The biotechs lose 93.46. Russell 2000 on 32.40. Back to approaching lows. Now remember, a break under this 1450 level, which was the low back in August, it was the low on Friday, and now we're not that far away from it. That's going to be just completely ugly. The VIX gained back a little bit, up $3.40 to 36.82 after dropping on Monday. The trend closes at 2.55, highest reading on the trend except for last August in the year. Obviously, that's going to keep the 10-day moving average up for a while. Nasdaq volume 4.3 billion shares. The advanced decline ratio negative 12.27. More stocks down than up. Advanced decline ratio in the New York negative 18. Google loses 48.6. Apple down 9.49. Netflix loses 12.28. But it did. This is the interesting thing. Early in the day, it actually swept to new all-time highs and then closed down 12 points, and that was much lower than the high. Amazon down 44.96. Tesla gained $1.89, which is kind of funny on Tesla when it's a stock that was running 40 points a day and more at one point in time. But that 13 sell signal was obviously the high, and we haven't come back to it. Facebook down 10.55. Goldman Sachs, we made a low money today, down 6.04. TLT, the 20-year bond ETF, up 2.39. Dow Jones was down 7.85. Nothing about this looks good, folks. That's the thing to keep in mind. Here's the 5-minute candle. So the funny thing is, for the week, we're really up very little. Monday we had gapped up, filled, headed higher, closed up. Tuesday, like you can see, kind of open on a small gap up, headed lower for about 45 minutes. There's the surprise rate announcement an hour in. We spiked on that. It was a one-candle spike. And this is the problem with news, right? And then everything rolls over and starts to head lower. No patterns defined, nothing interesting to trade, unfortunately, until the Goldman Sachs trade later in the day, but there really wasn't much out there. Looked around a lot. And so by the low of the day, which we didn't quite close at the low of the day, but at the low of the day, we're almost just flat for the week, right, at that point in time. Nasdaq 100, kind of the same story, nothing different. It's a lot of program trading right now, and there's no way to get around what that really means. So for Wednesday, in terms of economic data, here we go. ADP non-farm employment change, final services PMI, ISM non-manufacturing PMI at 10, crude oil inventories at 10:30, beige book at 2. Nothing major, but the rate announcement's out of the way, so now it's just the market and the coronavirus. That's all we're into. That is what we're facing at this point in time. Futures for tomorrow showing currently an up opening, but that doesn't mean anything in terms of what happens overnight. Charts, as usual, brought to you by eSignal. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple of weeks. Have a great trading